Hello there. So it's been how many days since we last? I guess 2 days. 2 days ago. So I got the trigger lined up. I got the trigger. Let me show you. Let me just put you down. And oops, whoops. And I flip this screen over. Yeah. Okay. So update. I got it added to the main cable, the our trigger wires. So the trigger wires, and I added the trigger. This is the original trigger. This is if you're using this with the gas shielding, excuse me, the gas shielding, this is the right trigger for it. But it's disabled right now since we're using flux core. So I modified our machine to a DCEN, or direct current electrode negative. So that means before our electrode, which is our handle right here, is positive. Now it is negative. So our supposed ground will now be our positive. So I've read and watched clips of people doing. It's supposed to do that. You're supposed to do that when you're using flux. So they to prevent us from having that splattery like I showed you on the previous videos. So we got it, and this was out like this because I tried it, and it does come out. So I haven't welded anything yet because I'm adding a cooling fan to the mix. So there's a cooling fan right there, which was not origin. This machine doesn't originally come with it. So this came from a old computer. Unfortunately, it's a 12-volt system. But we're going to add. So I'm adding a 12 volt supply here, a DC 12 volt, which came from an adapter here. So if you can read that, it's a 12 volt DC output with a 1.5 amp capacity. So this is more than enough to power our 0.8 amp fan. So yeah, so we're adding that. So this weld right here is going to the supply, the AC supply. So it's tied up with the switch. So if I turn on the switch, the fan should turn on. Supposedly, I haven't tested it yet. I'm still not finished. So now what we're going to do is splice everything up like so. So this is your AC supply that came from the switch. Just need to trim the insulation to expose the bare copper wires. And we're going to grab the insulations. I hope my insulations would fit in there. It's a shrink tube. I don't know if it's going to fit. It does fit, but I hope it these are shrink tubing, so when you heat this up it shrinks, making making your bare exposed connections insulated. Put that in there and fire up our soldering gun later. So this is soldering paste. This is used to clean the terminals. So just dab it on the hole of your outlet. You can see. This will make things solder faster. Some of your this is your soldering wire. It's rosin core, and some of them have already what do you call that? A flux inside, just like a flux core. But I usually still put soldering flux on the piece that I'm trying to solder. Plus I always stab this onto your soldering paste, just like that. Then fire your wet soldering gun. Take a bit to warm up. So if you like you to see it closely, how the soldering paste affects our solder with that flux on. So see how clean the solder is. So that's what I do to make it clean. Then the rosin core just attaches itself onto the copper wires. So on your electrical terminals here, let's do the same. So I'm grabbing lead out of, I mean not lead, a rosin core. I'm grabbing it from and we kind of dab it like so. This would take a while because the terminals are thick, and it just eats the heat away. Oops, kind of overheated that. So as you can see, if you're looking at it, the solder is very nice and flat, and it's nice and flat on there, so it's not bubbly or anything like that. Let's just bend this a bit out. Okay, so now it's time to get this in there. Let me just grab a let's just thin the ends that, so that it enter better, like that. So like that. Let's add the soldering paste and dab it onto your, are you seeing it? Malambot na? Malambot na?
Hindi ko lang mag-bring patas eh. Patas na.
Lumambot na?
Hindi.
O hindi pa pala.
Hindi, patas na.
Ayaw mo lang muna kumulo.
Hindi, patas na. Para lang nag-bring.
Pag malambot na, tsaka may gigisa yung baho. My son is, we're talking about cooking food. There we go. One down. Next one to go. So, finished product on the solder. Very smooth. So, let's do the other one. Unfortunately, this one had the hole is covered with solder. Let's just try to get that hole open again. Okay, hole is open. So now let's just flatten the ends again. So it'll go in easier. doesn't want to go in. Okay, let's just cut that end. It got too much solder there. Okay. Let's try it now. Okay, there, it's out. And we'll fold it like that. Then our soldering paste again. Fire up the good old gun. And shiny. Let's just wait for it to cool before we slide the sorry about that, slide the shrink wrap, because it's going to shrink on us if I just shove it in there because it's still hot. So let's just wipe it a bit. See? Let's try that. Yeah. Get in there. Unfortunately, it's too small. That's what I'm afraid of. It was a little too small, but we'll try to stretch it. It's not stretching. I think that's a fail on our part, on my part, because it's not stretching, because it's called shrink wrap. That's why it's called the shrink wrap. That's why it's not stretching. have a bigger. The thin needle nose pliers. Let's stretch it a bit. Try that again. Oops, it covered it a little better. Well, covered most of it. So let's try it on this one. Let's just finish it up with tape later. It's slippery. Let's try. Let me see. Rag. Oops. I think that worked. So got it in there. One is I can't get it far enough. So let's grab a heat gun and shrink it.
Pero kalagyan na.
Alam mo to?
Suka.
Tapos na?
Ayaw mo puti.
Mamaya naman, ba't mamaya may pang-konti yan?
Kailangan ko puti yan.
Mamaya pa nga, pag malambot na, yung humimpit na.
Tapos kung lalagyan ko na lang pala ng sabaw, lalaglag ko lang din yung bawang.
Pakuluin mo muna mamaya ang akit ako. So, heat gun. Heat gun. So, finished product would be like that. And the exposed metal, will just tape it. Our shrink wrap is a little too small. Okay. That would be okay for our needs. Let's just tuck this away. Okay, now this is the output of that small adapter. Now we want to find the polarity. By the way, this is a wire stripper, just to make it easier for me to get the bare copper out of the insulation. And with our handy dandy multi-tester right here, we'll find out if we're having output. We'll set it to 20 volts DC. I don't know if you're going to see that. Where should I put this? Let's just move this. Right there. Okay, we are ready. I just hope this works. Then I'll have to do it again. So welder is plugged in. Where's that? Okay. Welder is plugged in, and this is your test leads. And we're aiming for 12 volts and the polarity. Turn on the machine. Uh-oh. Oh. So the trigger was hitting the wood here, so it got longer. Let's set that aside, far away. So on. Okay, and we'll just, so we don't know which one is positive, which one is negative, so we'll just put any test leads there. And now it's reading not 10. Why is that? Oh, too bad. Anyway, so the negative here means we are reversed. There, 12 volts. we are reversed since there's a dash there. That's a negative. So we just simply flip our test leads, flip it around, and we have a positive 12 volts. So that means the one that I'm holding right now is the positive, and the one holding with my left hand is positive, and the one that I'm pinching right now with my right hand, did I say that right? Left hand, right hand. Okay, so the left hand here, right hand here. I was looking at the camera, so it's, yeah, very weird. So hello, this one is your negative and this one is your positive. Okay, so now we know that. Just set these probes and okay, now the fun part, we'll get to test it first. We'll just hook up the positive right now. The negative I bent like that, so it's far away. So these are our motor leads. Let's just get, these are controllers, I believe, because this is from a computer. Like I said, it's used for switching the motor on off and regulate its function. So okay, the folded wire is our negative, and let's fold this like that, and let's try it again now with the motor attached. And let's fire away. Nothing happened. Whoops. Something happened. It's not. Oh, there we go. Cool. Cool. The fan is working. If you can feel the wind, that means it's blowing. So that small fan is really strong. I can feel it cooling. It's pushing air up to here. So it's running through the our rectifier system. So this is the one that heats up the most. So it's going to cool that. Okay, now time for assembly again. I'll just finish this up so you know where we're going and you know what happened. So I'm going to connect the wires together and finish this up, and we'll test the welder again. Kidoki. And we'll come back later.